Truckers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Boy, John, there's a lot of big changes. It just came out a little bit ago. Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen is now ordering an end, at least short-term, to traffic stops for ICE.
Well, you're going to have a problem because these guys have guns, they have drugs, and when you stop them, they panic.
Yeah, they panic or they use the vehicle to run over agents.
Let's go to our former...
Acting ICE Director.
Yes.
I agree. Who better than Todd Lyons to talk about all this? And Mr. Director, it's great to have you. What do you think about this? Because how else are you going to stop them, especially in sanctuary cities where they're not getting handed over by the local authorities?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. That's one of the big issues, right? Obviously, traffic stops is one of the main arrest tools options that ICE officers and special agents have to effectuate those arrests because sanctuary jurisdictions, we just can't get those individuals because they won't turn them over to us, right? We have elected officials telling folks not to open the door for ICE agents, right? They don't have authority to go in. You have other elected officials who are causing the problem with these individuals ramming ICE agents, telling, folks to actively resist ICE officers, to resist arrest. So it's very tough for those, agents and officers. They're in high stress situations as it is. They're going against some of the worst of the worst. I feel for them. It's going to be tough for them now, but I can see the Secretary's point. He has to take care of the men and women of ICE. These people aren't stopping. They're using their vehicles as weapons. I've been talking to you guys for, over 16 months now when I was in the chair, and it just ramped up more and more, putting officers and agents in harm. And, these tactics have to stop. And I applaud the Secretary for keeping the safety of the men and women of ICE as his number one priority.
Yeah, and it's so dangerous for them already to be out there, and they're in this moment. And if somebody has a vehicle, we've seen time and time again. I mean, vehicle is a deadly weapon, right?
It's a dangerous instrumentality.
And if he has a gun in the car and he's going to reach for it, well, you're going to have a confrontation.
Right, or he steps on it. Like how about in the case where we've seen...
Step on the gas and hit an officer and maim them or kill them?
Right, and you got an officer saying stop who's standing in front of the car, and you step on the gas. How else are you supposed to read that?
Yeah, and you know what? The other thing, too, is what we've seen in a lot of these instances, too, is sometimes it may not be the target, but it might be someone who has overstayed their visa or has been in the country decades who didn't take the opportunity to become a U.S. citizen or, adjust their status the right proper way. But instead, they want to go ahead and they want to flee. They want to use that, 4,000, 5,000-pound vehicle as a weapon. For what reason? I mean, there's just no reason to resist law enforcement officers to put your own life in danger like that. It's ridiculous. But again, unfortunately, they're listening to the rhetoric of some of our elected officials that not only are putting ICE officers and the general public in, harm's way, but they're also putting the illegal immigrant in harm's way because they think they're doing the right thing.
They're creating a situation.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And it's really sad for everyone involved.
Well, what percentage of those stops, they have something illegal in the car and they panic?
Well, all the time, and that's the thing. A traffic stop for any law enforcement officer, whether it's a federal agent or NYPD officer or New York State trooper, walking up to that car, you don't know who you're encountering, right? You could have some poor kid who has an issue with his driver's license, or you could have someone that just, committed a mass murder who has, weapons in the car. You just don't know, and that's the most scariest time for a law enforcement officer. So those traffic stops are a real immediate action situation for the men and women of ICE in all law enforcement offices.
Thank you so much for coming on. And you have something, Craig?
No, I was just going to say, when we used to have stop, question, and frisk here in New York City, it's the same exact concept. The police were able to approach people, either in a car, walking on a street, and they would find so many illegal guns and drugs and arrest people with outstanding warrants. It's an opportunity. It gives law enforcement an opportunity to weed out all of these criminals that are on the street that are just running around. And this is the same thing with ICE.
Right. And, you have the opportunity to stop crime. You have the opportunity to encounter people who have come into this country before, because we always encounter is when you have one criminally illegal alien, you have other ones that hang out with them. And we're identifying more and more that came in through the open, porous border under the last administration, those 4 years. So it's given us the opportunity to encounter more of the individuals we're looking for.
And take them off the streets. And take them off the streets and put them where they belong.
100%. And to take the traffic stops away, that's going to be a big hurdle for us to kind of make a dent in those criminal illegal aliens in our community.
Yeah, 100%. Well,
thank you for coming on.
Yeah, Director Lyons, thank you so much. It's always so great to talk with you. Thank you.
And when we
Great
come
talking
back,
to you guys.